Hi, and thank you for joining me today. It's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk, Independent Stamping Up Demonstrator. And today I'm going to bring you a half a sheet wonder. Okay, so we've all seen one sheet wonders where people use a piece of 12 by 12 and make as many cards as possible, and sometimes you get a 6 by 6 one sheet wonder, but I'm doing a half sheet wonder, and I'm doing a half sheet wonder because I'm doing a paper share, and lots of people have bought my paper share, and so with the 12 by 12s you just get half a sheet. I am doing it with the autumn winter catalogue, and obviously this isn't in the autumn winter catalogue, but I've not used this paper before, so I decided I was going to do it with this and get myself break my duck with this paper and get it used. I love that. Okay, so I've done it at my prototype is with some retired paper, which I've still got a whole full pack left of this and some scraps because I love it. It's my beloved Blackberry Bliss there. Island Indigo gone, love it. Anyway, so these are what I did with it. Used a bit of some embossing folders with it, and different sentiments and different dies and layering dies. Okay, so that is what I came up with in not very long at all. Really easy cutting, and then it's just a matter of choosing your sentiments that you want and adding a bit of ribbon, retired ribbon as well. But I'm making up some packs of cards. I'm going to do a craft fair, and I thought doing up some bundles of cards might go down well. So these we are going to make, we're going to cut it in the same way, but we'll use different sentiments. I thought that this paper really good for wedding cards, engagement cards, anniversary cards. That was my thoughts with this. So let me show you how to cut it. So we've got our 6 by 12 strip, and I want to cut it to card mat size, and I want to cut it to my second card mat size. So we are going to cut it down here. I've got mine marked off. I'm not sure if my video about me marking it off has come out yet, but that is my line for my card mat size. There we go, just didn't press hard enough there. Then we've got a little strip. Now I did think about something to do with that, but I haven't yet, but I might well do. And then we're going to cut it down here on our card mat size. So we're going to end up with 3 of these. And we end up with these, which actually I'm just thinking I could easily make another card out of, but we'll just put those to one side because I haven't done that in the practice one. And then all it's a matter of doing is cutting each one of these in half in a different way. We cut one diagonally across, one vertically and one horizontally. Did you see I like hesitated there with me vertical and my horizontal? So you simply put a point up there on the runner and a point down there on the runner. I never start cutting at the point, I always start in the middle. There we go, so we've got 2 diagonals. Now this measures 3 5/8, so half of 3 is 1 1/2, and then we've got 5/8, which is the same as 10/16, so we need to go to 5/16, so 2 4 5. There we go. So that's 3/16 off 2. You do the maths. I will write it all down on my blog as usual. So there we have 2 nicely in half. And then this one is 5 3/8. So we go to 2 1/2, that's half of 5. And then we've got 3/8, which is the same as 6/16. So we go 6/16. So we want 3/16. 1, 2, 3. That is how I do maths. And there we go. Perfect. So that is that. All cut out, ready to go. Now we want some card blank mats for it. Now the colour in this paper, oh that's my card blanks. The colour in this paper is that's Blushing Bride, so we can see our Blushing Bride in there. This is Grapefruit Grove, we can see some Grapefruit Grove here, and the green is the Mossy Meadow. So I thought I'd use those mats for it and mix it up a bit. So this is simply being cut directly in half, and I'm going to cut it directly in half that way, and that's because to mat it you want it to be you can't cut the one size bigger and straight away it's complicated. I will explain when I'm doing it. So I'm just literally going to cut these in half because it depends which orientation what you've done depends. So I just found it easier to start with a standard quarter sheet of cardstock. Okay, and then it's a matter of deciding, it depends on where the colours are as to which one goes with what. So I might do the diagonal in the Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to cut that diagonally in half. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with my trimmer. So, and then what I do is then I push that right up to where I want it to be, and then I cut the bit off the end that I don't want. So this bit can then go to the mat size that I want it to be. Seriously need to change my blade, don't I? Might just do that. Okay, so I've changed my blade, and I just want to show you a trick. If you do have a bit of fluffy edges, if you need to change your blade and you haven't got an order, is get a nail file and just run over the edges and it will take them off. I mean, obviously you don't want to do this all the time, but if you're between blades and you wait for an order, it is a trick to enable you to carry on crafting whilst you're waiting them like 5 days for them to come back, and that will take off those fluffy edges that you sometimes get. Can you see? And then I just filing them down. And my fluffy edges are gone. Not quite on that one. Don't work with children, animals and bits of paper. I would add to that. Did it beautifully off camera, and then you just don't want to play on camera. There we go. Anyway, I have changed my blade now, so I will carry on. So that's my 2 diagonals done. So now we need to do me horizontally in half, vertically even. So it's 1/16 below 3 for that one. There we go, beautiful cat. And then this one will cut this way, so 2 1/16. Oh, didn't actually need to come back. There we go. So I've got those if I change my mind and want different colours. So this one needs lobbing, doesn't it? Lobbing at there. So that fits like so. So this one needs lobbing that way for the second mat. Take that away so I don't accidentally do it that way. And now that's perfect. And then this one, perfect that way. It's that way we need to take it off. The reason why you can't just cut to the second mat and cut in half, because you're not allowing for the bit that goes this way. If it was the actual size, then of course you'd be cutting across the middle of that, so you need that little slightly extra width. And I could probably do it, cut the right side off if I put enough thought into it, but this works for me. You're not actually going to do anything with those bits. Even I probably wouldn't do anything with those bits, except maybe keep them for being a long arm if you've got a small bit in a punch. So that's all those bits sorted, ready for sticking on. And what I want to do is on these I have excuse me, I have matted, I've embossed, so I'm going to emboss. And these ones I haven't embossed, but I am going to, because this is going to be sort of wedding engagements. I've got Softly Fallen, so I'm going to emboss the ones that are going to be the diagonal with the Softly Fallen. I think that would look really nice. Okay, so those are all embossed. What I like to do when I'm folding my cards is, because sometimes you get a slight where it's not quite in the right place, so I like to use my trimmer scoreboard and fold it that way, so then I know that if you've got a bit like that where for some reason you've not quite scored it right, you can correct it because you're butting up to two corners. So that is how I like to do it. And then I'll just give it a burnish. I will burnish on the back so I don't go over. There's a little mark on there. I think there must have been a mark on me. Big Shop plate. And this one is the thicker one. The textured impressions, can you see they're like twice as thick, so you only need one plate in the Big Shot when you're running those through. You don't need both plates. Okay, so these are the cards, so I'll do that one that way and that one that way. I did want the bulk of it, but that's still cool. Then these ones are for the horizontal, so that way, so we're going to have a sentiment on that side and a sentiment on that side, so they're going to be the opposite ways. And then these are going to go across the middle like so. Thought that was quite cool, quite like that. Okay, so then it's just a matter of deciding about the sentiments, and then getting them, depending on the sentiments will depend on the dies and whatever that you use. I'm gonna add a bit of ribbon. This is the shimmer ribbon, powder pink shimmer ribbon. I know it's not the same pink, but actually it goes. So let's cut this. Yeah, it's lucky. This was just a bit I'd cut for another project and then I didn't use it, so that'll be cool. Okay, not going to do it on them. So I'm just going to stick ribbon around the DSP, and then stick it onto the mat. So I'm just going to use a bit of fast fuse along the two ends to secure the ribbon. Might use my bit grid mat to find the centre point so that it's going properly straight, so we can count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. So that is the middle. About there. Put slightly too much on that side, but it will still reach there. Okay, so that's pretty much in the middle, and then for quickness I'm going to carry on with the fast fuse, which is sticking to my fingers. Put a bit on top of the ribbon. Although I usually like a bit of wigglage, I'm going to be brave. So that is the principle of sticking the ribbon on the DSP. So I'm going to carry on and do that off camera and come back to you. Okay, so those are all stuck down now, and then I was just looking through the sentiments to see what sentiment I wanted. So I thought weddings, anniversaries, engagements, that sort of thing. Cue the confetti. I thought that might be quite a nice different wedding one. Here, life is so much better with you in it. That could be you giving to your partner on an anniversary. Some things are meant to be like the two of you together. Another lovely anniversary card, I thought. May all your tomorrows be as happy as today. That could be a lovely wedding sentiment, just something a little bit different. We've got here's to a great wedding and an even better life together, so that's obviously a wedding one. All the best for a future filled with love, another nice wedding-y one. Wishing you happiness on your special day. This one, I quite like that. So many of my smiles begin with you. I quite like that one. And there's so much love about you. So yeah, I think that's what we need. So I need to clean that grapefruit grove off of there. Stamp that. Yeah, liking that. Right, so then I need to decide on the framelets that I'm going to cut it out with. On the other one I used the stitch framelets to cut the sentiments out and then layered them with the layering framelets. Okay, let's move those out of the way. Let's get me framelets, which I thought I'd use. So that one clearly needs an oval. I think it's the second largest. Yep, so that's that one. And I can cut that one with the second largest as well. I'm either going to cut that one with an oval or a circle. Quite like it with a circle, although we've got quite a lot of space at the top and the bottom. Yeah, going to go with the ovals. Okay, so I'm going to get those cut out, and I'm going to cut out the layering scalloped ones as well. To work out which sizes. Nope. Oh, that was nearly gone. I think we need that one. Yep, so I need two that size. And then, not that one. I think that'll be the largest one then, won't it? Yeah, and one of the largest. So I'm going to get those cut out and come back to you. So I've cut those out, and then I was just playing around deciding which goes where and whether or not I want that one or that one. And so it's just personal preference really as to what you like the best. Gonna faff. I think that's what I think. You may prefer something else, but that's the way I'm going with it. And so I'm just going to glue these layers down, and then I will pop them up on some dimensionals. Okay, so I've cut them out, and so I finished these two off, and I have decided on the sentiments that I'm going to do for these two. I quite liked the oval one on this one, and I quite like the way that looks on that. I did do these as well. I thought the square was no good. Oh, my hair. I thought that was no good. It was kind of the same size, so I rejected that one. This one is, I quite like that one as well. I think that works really well, but I like that sentiment, so I'm going with that one. And I've stuck a bow on that one, and I've just done a knot on that one. Oh, that one's shorter than that one. I might just trim that a bit. That's a bit better. So I'm going to show you how I did these cheats, actually. Okay, these are all stuck up on dimensionals, so I'm just going to put a bit of fast fuse under there. I'm just not going to see it, and that holds that bit of ribbon in place. These are going to be popped up on dimensionals, and the important thing that you want to know is how I did the ties, really. My sister always said I can't tie a bow, so I said I'll teach you. She lives 350 miles away, so it is quite difficult, but we are going on holiday together to Turkey in a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd take some ribbon on the plane and teach her how to tie a bow. That was my thoughts. And there are several different ways of tying bows, and I'll show you a couple. You can buy bow makers. I have 2 bow makers, and I generally just end up doing it myself. Okay, so this one, where I tied the knot, simply, because that's not secured yet, fed me ribbon underneath, and then just tied me knot. Once and then twice, so it's a double knot. And then just trim the ends. That's how I did that one. Quite simple. And then put a glue dot underneath there to hold that in place, and that, I like that look. Quite like a knot. That maybe not the neatest knot in the world, but it's all right. And then this one I tied a bow in the air. Now you can do it 2 ways. You can get bunny ears, 2 bunny ears, and then tie a knot, which, if you are challenged with your fingers like me, I find that quite difficult, but some people find it much easier. So you're just tying a knot there, pull the 2 ends, and then it's a matter of just faffing until you get the loops where you want them. I don't like that way. I hold the end of the ribbon between my thumb and index finger and make a loop, and then this one that's at the back I fold around, and then I poke it where my thumb is and grab the end of that whilst I'm doing it and just pull, and I find that much easier. And that's what I do to make a bow. Okay, I'll do it again. And that's it. I like to try and pull these down a little bit, the tails, and then it's a matter of deciding which side you like the best, whether you like it that way or that way. And that's it. And then when I'm cutting my ends, I just kind of line my scissors up with the edge of the ribbon as it comes down. That kind of gets them about the right size. Okay, and then we just need glue dots again, which I add them in my hand. I'm coming to the end of the roll, so I can't quite. I stuck that already, yeah. So it kind of melds into the background. So I'm going to put a glue dot under there. Hold that down. And then a glue dot on the back of my ribbon. Hold it in place. There we have it. So that's me half sheet wonder. Where's my other two? There they are. So that is 6 cards, which I think anybody getting married, getting engaged, having an anniversary, I think they would be quite beautiful to receive. Anyway, I hope you like them. All the details will be on my blog as ever, nigezza.co.uk. You can click the direct link down below, click the link to my shop if you wish to buy anything, and yeah, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, please. God, that sounded awful. yeah, no, if you would like to like and subscribe, then do it. That would be great. Okay, bye-bye.